Good day everyone. I will be showing you how I did the switch grip charging mod. So as you can see, there's a Type-C port here that can be used to charge the Joy-Con independently of the Switch console, and it's a fairly easy mod. If you look at it, I even used hot glue, which is a builder's best friend if you're crunching for time. So basically what you need is a tri-wing screwdriver for those tri-wing screws. I like to call these the screw use screwdrivers, because screw Nintendo for using non-standard it's not non-standard, it's fairly basically an uncommon screw type, no? And so yeah, I got these from Gillikit. It was part of their replacement joysticks for the Joy-Con. As you can see here, it is Y screwdriver. It's part of this package. There's a extra joystick for those drifting Joy-Cons. So it's very simple. You open it, there are 4 screws in the back, 1 2 3 4. And you might ask, where did I get these parts? Because the design of this grip is very simple. It uses almost the same rail as the original Switch console. See, as you can see here, it's fairly similar. It's a fairly similar rail, and there's even a hole at the bottom for possible pass-through. Maybe it's the same molds they used for the official controller. Now, where did I get these? I couldn't find them online. However, I went to a refurbisher one day and they told me that they had broken grip chargers. They looked like this. You would slot a Joy-Con here, and then you could charge them here, and you could also use them for those single Joy-Con co-op games. Yes, but they deemed that these were broken, the port was broken. They deemed that this port was broken, but they also told me that these were probably viable, so I had to test it out. So fairly simple. I had to harvest the electronics here, which were these. And if you look here, there is a plastic piece that I thought it was a stopper, but it actually is. It fits rather well. It lines up rather well when you insert the Joy-Con. It goes to the maximum point, So, but at the same time, on the other side, I had to cut it out because I think the PCB on this side was a little bit longer. So you might have to do it. You might have to make some concessions on that, or you have to modify it a little bit. However, this does require a little bit of soldering knowledge. I'm not very proficient at soldering by any chance, as you can see. It's a fairly hideous looking solder joint, but I didn't think it mattered. So yeah, that's basically, I had to attach it, and then I had to use a little bit of wire. This is a non-conductive wire to mount it in place. Yes, because the plastics here has a hole. If you can see, there's a hole, and then the plastics also have a hole, so that's why you need to mount it. But I didn't think it was necessary for the other side, especially because it fit rather snugly. So yeah, and if you're gonna ask me where I got this board, I got it from a third-party PlayStation. I think it was a PlayStation 4 controller. Yeah, it's a fairly simple board. It's fairly basic electronics. You just have to get the voltages right. If I remember correctly, I think it was 5 volts or 3.3 volts. I might have to check, but I did my research, and it gave the same output input. Yeah, so basically that's it. No, you might ask why I didn't put the charging port on the top, so it fits. Like if we close it come out like here, no? It's like a regular controller. I didn't want to cut off some plastic bits like this one, and especially the screw mounting holes here, because I needed to cut it so that I could put it here. I didn't want to cut it because I usually let my younger siblings and younger cousins borrow the Joy-Con grips, and when they are in a fit of rage, when they're losing in their game, they usually like to bend the entire coin, or they like to press on the middle. Even with their small hands, they like to press on it, and I think it was a major durability concern. It was a major structural concern, no? So I didn't also want to cut this, and I also didn't want to wire wire it very long. Not it wasn't a difficulty to wire them, but I think it was a more sort of aesthetic choice. I didn't want to put it very far, no? Even though you can see it, it might get compressed, especially because if you look at the top side, there's lots of structural plastics that support the structural rigidity, and if you put it on top, you also have to compete with the space here. I didn't want to cut this, as I've said. It was a structural concern, so I put it here. It was fairly deep enough for my board. You can find this online, I think. I don't have specific links, but yeah, that's it works. I don't have Joy-Cons with me right now, but I can show you on another video wherein I can show you that they work. Thank you. So a little bit of soldering tutorial. So it's very simple. I wish I could do this again and show you, but I don't want to. So basically, the red wires are 5-volt VCC, and the black wires are grounds. So it's very simple. All the red wires go to the VCC or 5-volt in, and then all the black wires go to 5-volt to the grounds. So as you can see, my soldering job is not that good. It's fairly it's a beginner type of joint, but I like to think that it was a problem of the soldering iron, because it had a very large tip, as you can see. And I've also confirmed that Joy-Cons do charge at 5 volts. Yes, 5 volts, specifically 5 volts and 110 amps. So what you could do is you could buy a USB-C breakout port. Yes, it looks something like this, or much simpler is something that looks like this. Yes, you can use something similar to that. The pinouts are fairly coded, so you can find some documentation on the internet depending on your model. They're fairly thin, so you can put them inside. So yeah, that's basically it. And since the normal USB protocol it charges at the minimum of 5 volts, you won't have a problem, I believe, with overvolting. Or yeah, basically that's it. It's a fairly simple job. If it's your first time trying to solder, I highly recommend it. If not, the only difficulty is that it's a very small and very delicate board, so you might have trouble there, but it's a fairly simple soldering job. So yeah.